So I did something I probably shouldn't have. I asked Reddit whether Crusader Kings 3 has finally surpassed Crusader Kings 2. 621 votes later, and the community is divided. Here's how the poll broke down. 16% felt that CK3 had surpassed CK2 in every way. 37% felt that CK3 is great, but CK2 still has depth CK3 hasn't matched, the reasonable middle ground. 16% felt that CK2 is still king. CK3 is fun, but lacks soul and features. CK2 purists, I see you. 13% loved both CK3 and CK2, feeling that each of them have their own strengths. 18% had never even played CK2, but felt that CK3 is fantastic. More power to you. Section 1. The most upvoted comment. The most upvoted comment in the discussion had a strong critique of CK3's design philosophy. CK2's updates felt like everything was filling a void that needed to be filled, except for Sunset Invasion. CK3's updates feel like Paradox is punching holes into it to fill them with content, while continuously ignoring the CK2-sized holes. They are coming up with solutions, looking for a problem to solve. This resonates with a lot of long-time players. CK2's DLCs often expanded the game in natural, meaningful ways, while CK3's updates sometimes feel like they're introducing mechanics for the sake of it, rather than addressing the core missing depth that CK2 had. Honestly, I felt this firsthand when the Legends DLC dropped. I was playing with a friend of mine who was relatively new to CK3 at the time, and while the DLC introduced some cool ideas, we were both frustrated by how the free update seemed to focus on negative effects like the plagues, while the paid content gave you the fun parts like forming a legend. It felt like Paradox handed us a bag of rotten apples for free and then asked if we wanted to pay extra for the fresh ones. Now, this ties into a much bigger discussion about Paradox's DLC policy, but that's a whole other video on its own, possibly even a multi-part series knowing how deep that rabbit hole goes. Section 2. Crusader Kings 2 still has more depth. One of the most common arguments in favour of CK2 was its sheer depth. CK2 with all its DLCs is a beast. Its mechanics, religious systems, and intricate gameplay are unmatched. As of today, CK3 is the most solid Paradox game on release, but CK2, with all its DLC, has more depth. That's the heart of the debate. CK3 is polished, has a fantastic foundation, and introduces features like 3D characters and the lifestyle system, but it lacks some of CK2's depth. Paradox is still filling in the gaps, but some feel like they're creating gaps just to sell us solutions later. Section 3. The ultimate what if. If they simply reskinned everything from CK2 into CK3 graphics, we would have arguably one of the best games ever. And honestly, it's hard to disagree. Imagine Crusader King 2's depth with CK3's visuals and all of the quality of life improvements in one package. That might just be the perfect Crusader Kings experience. But of course, this is Paradox, so that perfect game would probably split across 6 DLCs and a $20 flavour pack for your favourite obscure European kingdom. Section 4. Why some players can't go back. Then we have the players who tried going back to CK2 and just couldn't. I tried going back to CK2 once, but I just can't. It's so clunky. This was a recurring theme. CK2 has depth, but CK3's quality of life improvements make it tough to return. It's like going back to an old flip phone after using a smartphone. It still works, it still has soul, but do you really want to live like that? Section 5. The final verdict. So who really wins? Well, it depends. If you love deep, intricate mechanics, CK2 is still unmatched. If you prefer a smoother, more polished experience, CK3 is the way to go. If you're just here for the medieval chaos, both games deliver in their own way. One user summed it up best. I think I'm exhausted with this topic. I've got 1.7 thousand hours in CK3. I'm satisfied. I enjoyed CK2. I'm good over here. And honestly, same. But what do you think? Are you team CK2 or team CK3? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Crusader Kings content. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep scheming.